Let's stand and recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Let's pray. Please be with us throughout the day and help us navigate whatever comes our way. Most importantly, help us reflect our lives in a way that's on honor. A brief moment for your own intentions. Get a motion to approve the agenda. Second. Motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Opportunity for public comment. Is there anyone here wishing to speak for the commission? If there's something on the agenda, if you'd wait for that agenda item, please. Not seeing anybody come forward, I will close public comment at this time. We have a new equalization staff if you'd like to introduce.
We would like to welcome reoccurring Director of Equalization. We would like to welcome Courtney Bay to our office. She's been here for about 3 weeks now, and I'm happy to tell you that she has flown through the first 5 courses and is ready to take her CAA exam on May 20th, which is a record for our office. Go ahead, Courtney, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm originally from over by the Wall, Quinn area. I went to college in Nebraska, taught school there for a few years before we moved back, and then I was at one of the local credit unions and then to a title company and now here.
That can be used here. What classes did you teach or grades did you teach?
I was an ag teacher. I taught high school mostly.
Oh, you had the renegades. Well,
Yeah.
Well, you'll find Doreen is much like a high school.
Sometimes middle.
Yeah. The rest of us, we're more like 8th graders.
Yeah.
Is there anything unique about yourself you'd like to share? Any hobbies?
Well, I really like doing cattle work and horses on the weekend, gardening, hanging out with my kids, camping, that kind of stuff.
So where do you live?
My husband works for Blair Brothers north of town, so we live out there.
Oh, okay. Sounds great.
Well, I'm not surprised you're doing so well as a fellow Wall High School alumni. I'm fairly sure that everyone has confidence that you will do great. So.
The only reason we hired her, Gary.
That was it. Once you saw that on the resume, it was done.
Did you know him? Oh, shucks.
I think he might have been before my time.
I wanted to
Little bit, yeah, it was
a lot.
A year or two.
Inside dope on this guy.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's move on. Well, thank you, Courtney. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Courtney. So I'm happy to report that as of this morning, my abstract has been submitted and accepted by Department of Revenue. Not fully approved yet, but accepted. So that's a first in a number of years that we have actually beaten the deadline and have worked through all of the problems in a timely manner. So I'm super stoked about that.
Do you have, while you're sitting there, do you have anything else? We'll just go right to equalization here. You're number 3 on the list, but we'll go right there on your report.
Yep.
Anything else? Okay.
Nope, I don't. Have you all gotten your emails for diligent training? Diligent, accepting your new email addresses and diligent training. We're really hoping to do a June. I was hoping for end of May go live, but we have too many offices that are yet to complete their things.
It'll be a new format for where our calendaring and
Yes. It will replace board docs.
I think we all got an email saying we're supposed to do diligent, and then we even got an email saying you can't open this because it's not a hoax, but at the same time I'm going to be surprised if any of us has opened that because Tony is trained as well.
Well, That's why I sent the email, so y'all know it's not a hoax. So
Yeah.
please do open it, and please follow through.
We don't know who to trust anymore on those emails, Rhea. So.
No.
But Tony's doing a good job of keeping it.
I didn't open it, but I have looked at diligent on other county or other governmental entities, but I guess change is
So
good.
you could train all of us.
I could teach you, Gary.
Yeah. How about
I could be like Courtney, become a teacher.
Yeah, we could set you up with Tony to teach the course. So. Any other questions for equalization?
Yeah, just on that diligent, all of our past materials move over so we can still search them.
Yes, and actually the search method is search engine is much better, more efficient. You can actually do some time searches, etc. Yeah, that's a huge positive.
Any other questions for equalization? Hey, thank you, Rhea. Emergency management, veteran services, don't see anybody here. Facilities, don't see anyone here. Human resources.
Good morning, Commissioners. Deborah Bransard, Meade County Human Resource Director. The monthly report for reviewing April's activities have been posted on the board docs, and I'm trying to see if there's anything standing there.
I had a question about it.
Sure.
What happened at the jail that we lost 4 people? I mean, hadn't we just gotten fully staffed like about a month ago?
Yes. Well, close. We were down 1. I don't know. Just things kind of run, together, and then all at once you're down 2 people, and then 1 open, and you're at 3, and nothing in particular. Just.
Did they go to other jails?
No.
Okay.
No, they have not.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one of them had been here 3 years, and he just decided this, just wasn't for him. Didn't want to be in law enforcement. So he is still looking for work. Maybe he'll be back. And then we have another one that may return. He has some other issues that he's attending to. So, but no, nothing.
Well, I was just surprised C4.
Yeah.
That's most.
Yeah, we had 1, and then 3 just happened all at the same time, within a week of each other. We had some good interviews for our auditor position, and we can talk about that later in our meeting. And then also Caleb will be joining us to give the update on how our PA is working now that we have our own, so he'll be joining me with that as well. And Dan has sent a note, Dan Thompson, that he is retiring from NMR, so he has new contacts and people that will be our contact going forward with the contract.
On that subject, we were scheduled to have you set up a meeting for, 3 months after that hire?
Right, and that's what Caleb's going to come in and chat with you guys today.
Great.
He's the best to give you an update, but
Sure.
I think he's pleased with the outcome.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really have too much, just busy.
Okay, real good. Any other questions for human resources?
Thank
Thank you for coming in. IT department.
Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Meade County IT, Tony Cummins. Don't have a whole lot to report, really, outside of the KPIs. Busy April. Kind of expected that after post-migration for our GCC move, so bit of tidy up to do there. Any questions on the KPI? If not, our cyber hygiene report. Numbers looking great. Continue to use our 3-letter agency affiliates to help monitor, maintain, and manage, alert, etc., etc. Nothing really too overly needs explained, I don't think, on that one. The MDR stuff, the malicious domain blocking reporting link there, you can see their numbers. And that's all numbers that don't ever hit the end user, block that source. So those numbers are pretty impressive, and it's doing a great job for the county. That's in conjunction with our move to the GCC stuff. Our patch management. Endpoints being patched, needing patching, etc., etc. So from a security standpoint, the GC migration and Defender rollout have significantly improved our overall security posture compared to where we were previously. We now have MFA enforcement, advanced email protection, improved monitoring capabilities, and centralized security controls that were either limited or unavailable in the prior tenant. So, that's a huge step up for us where we are. That work is continuing as part of our post-migration cleanup and ongoing security hardening efforts, while we continue balancing the day-to-day support alongside several pending infrastructure and security projects, including some end-of-life server replacements and additional post-GCC security work and tweaks that go along with that. I'd like to just mention I appreciate Gary doing his due diligence on the diligent email. Joke, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I will say that I have yet to receive mine, Rhea, so I don't know if there's a list that you can verify they were sent from. Okay. Any questions? I have yet to receive my email for a sign up. Probably afraid to open it. Didn't trust it.
You heard that Doreen's experienced in that, so we nominated her to help you with
I really appreciate that offer.
So if you can coordinate with Commissioner
I really
Freed.
appreciate that, yeah.
I thought I was going to nicely say that. No, thank you.
So if you coordinate with her, that'd be great.
Thank you, Gary.
Any other questions for Mr. Cummins? Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
For coming in today. I don't see the highway superintendent. Let's skip down to auditor.
Good morning, Dawn Christensen, auditor. Our first agenda item is the budget reports, expense and revenues through April 2026.
It looks like we're in good shape.
So far, we're doing well. Our next agenda item is the proposed Golden Valley Road District. They have resubmitted their map petitions, and we have the proposed schedule in board docs. Everything was received on May 5th. They have the required signatures. We are just presenting it to you today for your review. No action is needed today. They are planning to post their map and petitions May 13th through June 1st, and then we will come back to present for the order on petition of road district creation on June 9th.
Hey, there's some gentlemen here that's representing them. If you guys like to come forward and say a few words, do that this time. If you don't care to, that's fine as well. There's not an actual item.
The change on the map was the piece at the top left corner. I don't know how to describe it, but the piece that was discussed at the last meeting, that was removed from their area.
Mr. Zamora, if you could identify yourself.
Yes, I'm Bob Zamora from the Golden Valley HOA. I'm the president.
Do you have anything to say to the change?
No, I'm just here in case there were any further questions.
Sure, certainly. Any questions for Mr. Zamora? You have that look. All right.
I made my points last time. They can make the call under the statute how they want their district to look. I'm concerned that there's going to be issues as land develops around them and they're using access. They're not part of the district. I just see that there's concern about how it's going to work long term. But perhaps this district is just
Well, the other thing that I'd like to emphasize is that when we first announced that we were going to follow through on the road district, we had some folks that had some really positive comments, and I drafted them into being part of a committee. So now the people that are interested in being trustees of the road district are now, we have met. In fact, we have Peter Hills here with us today, and the decisions will be entirely up to them as far as the road district is set up. We have some guardrails that we want put on as far as bonded debt and how things will be organized, but I would like to emphasize that members of the HOA board are not allowed to be on the trustees. You're either with the trustees or you're on the HOA.
Yeah, I don't think legally you can do that.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't think legally you can do that.
You couldn't have an HOA member as a trustee?
No, you could. But
Oh, I know we could. We just, as a board, we thought that it would be best.
Yeah, but I want it clear under state law, you can't prevent an HOA board member from running for the road district.
I understand that.
But I think you're trying to say, Commissioner Weiser, they can't have the same board.
We're trying to say it's too much power concentrated.
They can have the exact same board.
But yeah,
Depends
but
on the election of the people.
But they can't serve as both those.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
I mean, the HOA is a nonprofit. There's nothing statutorily that you could prevent somebody who's on the HOA board from running for the road district.
It's running for the road district board.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It's
it
an
can't be
elected board.
But the boards can't be HOA/road district.
Well, they could have the same members.
That's what I'm saying. They can have the same members.
The difficulty with doing that is then you have to meet all the open meetings requirements.
Yeah, we kind of got in. Yeah, but yeah, they can have the same members. So. Okay. Is there any questions for Mr. Zamora? Anything else to add, Mr. Zamora? Okay.
I do not.
So, thank you. I think this is just updating us, and the auditor's office is moving forward with this. Is that correct?
Correct.
Ken, do you see anything? Ken's Deputy State Attorney says it's running smooth from the back. Okay, let's move on. 2025-26 year-to-date overtime report by department.
Any questions on the overtime report?
Nope, let's move down to outstanding checks.
Outstanding checks. We are requesting to write off checks that are more than 6 months old and less than 2 years. There is a difference in opinion between legislative audit and our state's attorney's office, and Ken can go into more detail on that.
The statute at issue is up on the board docs. Ken Clubberhead, Meade County State's Attorney's Office. 722.17 has the operative language: may cancel any check or warrant that has not been presented for payment at any time within 2 years of the date on which the check or warrant was issued. Legislative audit interprets that as after 2 years, you can cancel the checks. But if it's been 2 years, then it gets turned over to the state as unclaimed property, which then invalidates this section. So my interpretation is you can cancel up to 2 years, and that's what we're proposing. That allows both statutes to operate. You don't have to cancel, you may, and if you choose not to, then it'll be turned over to unclaimed property. As of June 30, we report in November of what was out there as of June 30. That's more than a year old as of June 30. So basically this will cancel the checks, the funds return to their original source. If someone comes to collect, says, hey, I didn't get my check, whatever, they establish that they were entitled to it, and they're the right person, we pay them anyway, up to 6 years, and after 6 years the board may choose to honor that check after 6 years old.
So it would have to come back to the board then?
I'm sorry?
It would have to come back to the board.
It's more than 6 years old, yes.
So if someone came in, for instance, on, say, one of these $3 checks,
right?
It would, if they said I need
any of them have to come back to the board to get paid, whether it's before or after the 6 years.
Essentially, we have to reauthorize the check writing. Sure. Yeah, that's a.
So my recommendation is to write them off.
I can't believe Monument didn't cash their check. There's always a few there that always surprise me.
And Monument is continually checking with us, so that may be one that they will be contacting us, and we'll reissue it.
What, you know,
Yeah.
Monument's billing department is located all over the United
Yeah,
States.
it could very well be that they got the check, but they got payment from another source, and so they didn't cash the check. Maybe some health insurance paid it, or they found some other source of payment. So they can't double dip on it. So, I mean...
Oh, I'm never surprised at anything that...
So we will need action to...
Yes, there's a resolution.
Well, do we need... My first question is then, do we need action to cancel the current ones? Will this resolution take effect to the ones that are currently there? It will, but my second question is to the resolution is, since these canceled checks have to come before the board, is this allowed for us to authorize the auditor to do so?
Yes, you're authorizing for this list.
Okay.
This resolution is for this list.
Okay, thank you.
To do it next year, she'll have to come back again with a new list. I would also note that the better practice and what I'm recommending to the auditor in the minutes is to list the checks.
So I guess with my question, the number one on the now therefore be it resolved is it's setting a resolution to authorize the auditor to write off all outstanding checks. So do we need to date that?
As shown on outstanding list. So those are the checks that she's writing off.
Okay. So it doesn't authorize her to do so in the future.
To just do it willy-nilly.
Okay.
They all have to come before the board.
That was my question. Okay.
And again, there's always some question as to how detailed the minutes need to be.
Well, that's a different
so
point.
we're gonna list them all.
But that's a different point. I mean, a resolution's a resolution. Yes. That's a standing document. So,
yes.
So technically, you could read that as she's authorized. I guess with that outstanding list, that does clear that up. But the first, before you get to that, it would just authorize the auditor to write checks off. So.
And that is not the intent or what the law allows.
That was my question, because I didn't think we'd be allowed to do that.
Right.
I mean, basically, what I hear you saying, Ken, is perhaps the outstanding list should be an attachment to the resolution, the body of the resolution, so setting forth the checks, so it appears in the minutes.
The outstanding checks is a moving target, which is why it's not included in the resolution. I think you finished it up 2 days ago, maybe. And they continue to reach out to people, do their due diligence to try and contact and get people off this list to get them to deposit their checks or remind them. I mean, that's their obligation.
But the point I was trying to make is this list is what we are canceling.
Right.
So tomorrow, if a new one comes in, we're not canceling that one. So therefore, to Talbot's point, it wouldn't hurt to say list as presented in the minutes or include the list as an attachment.
Yeah, I thought you just said that you would want to.
In the minutes, we will do the resolution and then list the checks underneath it.
Yeah.
And if you prefer to have it, I mean, we can change the language, outstanding list as attached.
That's fine, we'll do it. I mean, I'm fine with doing it that way, knowing that the outstanding list is going to appear.
Yeah.
So there's no question on it. The other thing that does then is when somebody comes in and says, why is my check no good? It's in our minutes.
Yeah.
Because we could do the same thing without a resolution. We could cancel. We can make a motion. We can't.
No.
It has to be by resolution.
Yeah.
Okay,
the statute is by resolution.
You're right. I apologize. Yeah. Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2026-14 and authorize the write-offs of outstanding checks.
Motion is second on the floor to pass resolution 2026-14 and authorize the cancellation of these checks that are presented before us today. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Chairman?
Yes.
I would just like to thank Rhea for working on the resolution for us and Christina for staying caught up and up to date with the outstanding checks.
You want to give us a quick election update? It's not on the agenda, but if you could just give us a little update about how things are going.
Elections preparations are busy, Absentee voting, we're over 200, including the ones that are mailed out. It's been a little slower than I expected with the in-person, averaging about 20, 25 people a day. So we're hoping that will pick up in the next couple weeks. All of our election officials have been appointed. Letters will be going out in the mail today for those.
Thus far, you guys are very well trained down there in that office, but it's been easy enough to keep up with all the different ballots.
So far, it has, yep.
Any other questions for the auditor? All right, well, let's move on. I don't see the highway superintendent yet or the planning director. So let's go into... Go ahead.
Can I just make a comment? And under some of those, there's this new open meeting statute that talks about what you have to have on the agenda.
I'm sorry.
There's a new open meeting statute coming in that what you have to have on the agenda. I actually advised planning for our planning committee meeting have a general update section because Tanya tends to give a general update section, but it's not on the calendar. And I'd like you to take a look at that statute and take a look at our agenda and it just popped up because you asked Dawn now about giving an election update, and I'm not sure under that general statute you can even give just updates unless general updates.
And I think if we change routine business to general updates.
Yeah, like routine business / general updates, but like we have auditor separate and we have our line itemed. So if we're going to do that, we should have just general updates under that too.
Yep. And that's a good point. I always took that as actionable items, but you're probably...
No, I mean, you read that statute. It's not clear. It sounds like you're not supposed to talk about anything that's not on the agenda, which
I'm not questioning, yeah.
Well,
and again, it's the adopted agenda as opposed to the proposed agenda.
Sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Well, but they made that change too. You can't add an item. They made that clear too, that we couldn't add an item this morning. You can't amend to add an item.
I'll look at it.
Really?
It's got, well,
That's the way I'm reading it. That's the way I understand it.
And I thought they were fairly strict on the 24, or at least 24
Well,
hours.
so there was some case law out there saying that if you had amendment to the agenda, on your agenda, you could amend the agenda to add items. And then there was a recent open meetings where a member from the audience brought up an issue. And this was open meetings came back with this about 10 months ago. That's what drove the statute. Where somebody from the audience brings up a subject, and then they talk to the member of the audience, and there's an exchange about it, and a discussion, and kind of basically a report. And that he said that was an open meetings violation. Then somebody else said that was open meetings violation because he talked about something not on the agenda, but it was like during public comment. And the open meetings said, well, it's public comment. If somebody comes in and asks a question, what are you going to tell the boards they can't reply and kind of give, here's what's going on?
Yeah, that would be...
I think would be beneficial under our executives to just kind of talk about general reports or general updates. So if we get off topic that's not listed, we as long as it's not an actual item, I think they can report.
That's good. And we have started to include commission updates.
And I think that's a good report because we can give that. And the only jumped out at me really on Dawn's is because we have it listed separately and we have just items as opposed to having her under.
Right, when I asked the question, I was wondering, but at the same time, I thought, well, it's not actionable.
Yeah, well, you just caused a violation, Gary.
Unusually, there wasn't the blurb under the auditor, there is for planning.
Right,
Here's the update under planning.
So,
these are just...
Yeah, if you can take a look at those open meetings
and
take a look at whether we just need to add some categories in our agenda.
We may even need to do it on the routine businesses and each one.
Yeah, what
other questions.
Ken was saying, routine business and general updates, maybe even.
So you're saying, okay. So what was the ruling when somebody brought a topic up under
the open meeting said
public forum?
It wasn't a violation. The open meeting said it wasn't, but then they've got this statute which looks a little bit like they're up in the game on how your agenda has to be. I just,
And I will hand it to the department heads. They've been really good. I guess we sent out some letters saying we need reports in by a certain time, or else they won't go on the agenda. And we've had pretty good luck with it here. Well, I know there's some that are a little bit behind and stuff, but nonetheless, it's used to be on Monday morning and Monday afternoon we were getting updates, and we're not getting those as much. Anyway, all right.
See, I have thought it was discourteous of elected officials if somebody comes before the board during a public forum. You know, when you watch other groups and they bring up a topic or a complaint and the board just sits there mute and doesn't respond and no one doesn't say anything back. I've always thought that was rude. That's just my own personal thought.
Okay, let's move down to, Troy's not here, but monthly reports on the highway. Earl, do you have anything to add to the highway liaison? Okay. Rolling dice, you guys are here, so yeah, if you'd like to come forward, Gary.
I have something to say about highway. I received numerous emails from one individual, and I checked with Tony. They were concerned that there was a camera located out there at the highway shop. They were very upset about it and wanted to make sure that the commission was aware of it. And I said it was authorized, and I verified it was authorized. It was authorized back when Kevin was still with the county. It's been there forever. Not a violation of anything.
Mr. Muse, if you'd like to identify yourself.
My name is Gary Muse, president of the Rolling Dice Road District.
Okay, and we're working on this agreement that the county can provide basically manpower and equipment to help you with your road districts. Is that correct?
Right, cost sharing deal.
Ken, have you looked over this agreement? I think there's some things in the agreement that we haven't just 100% got it right yet.
Right.
Is that correct, Mr.
If we
Muse?
do need to postpone it till Richard's back, so everybody's here that's been involved in it, we can postpone it till the next meeting.
Okay, and I think just to make it all easy, why don't we get something scheduled with the two highway liaisons, yourself and Mr. Kleberhad and Troy as well. You guys schedule something off commission time, and you guys can go through the agreement and then get it presented to us then,
Okay.
whenever you guys have it ready.
That'll work.
That's what I would suggest. Thank you. Thanks for coming in today. Joint powers agreement for weed spraying. It's a fairly simple document we pass every year. I struggle with this though, because I think it should go before the weed board before it comes to us. I just think that should be the proper, just like planning stuff goes to planning board first. So I guess I would think the weed board should take a look at it first. Okay, any other suggestions or ideas? So let's have Nate and Troy. I don't know the last time the weed board has met. I'm on that weed board committee, but I think that they should look at it first. Pleasant Valley Detour Route Agreement. Earl, do you have anything to add? Have you discussed this?
The little bit I discussed this with Troy, it sounds like the reason for it is there's no way to traffic control.
Ken, have you looked at this agreement? Brad said there's no legal issues. Any other questions, comments on this, and/or action?
I would make a motion.
Motion is second to approve the Pleasant Valley detour agreement. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Got a right-of-way easement as well. Earl, have you had worked on this at all?
No, the last I'd heard from Troy was that Rose was.
Okay, have you looked this over, Ken?
I have not.
When does this need to be approved by? The Superintendent Eastman is requesting the Commission to approve the attached right-of-way documentation for the lake.
Oh, you haven't had time to look at it?
Okay, Mike. Anyone?
Is anyone aware, is there a time limitation on this?
Well, I don't know. We can skip this item for right now. We may have to come back to it. I assume Superintendent Eastman will be in for the bid openings. Okay, gravel crushing. Let's go to item C6. Asking to start the bid process for this gravel crushing. Any questions, comments, and or action?
Second.
Motion is second to start the bid process for the 2026 gravel crushing. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Let's go down to G, Commission. Update from the Arts and Sturgis Arts in Action. Question on that. Let's go down to G2. This was the bingo. Was brought before us last time, and we sent this back for more questions. Rhea, do you have an update on that? I think someone in your office reached out to them, didn't they?
Darla did reach out to, I don't recall her name off the top of my head, but she did reach out to the Operation Combating Veteran Suicide, and they did provide additional information. They have their bingo application. They did provide the dates of sale. They were fine with doing it until year end. They did provide articles of incorporation and a sheet showing their proposed details regarding the bingo.
You know, I noticed we got this one, and then we got one at Buffalo Chip coming up or whatever, or at least notifying us. I think we should make it like an annual.
Well, the one at Buffalo Chip is a rally application, which we've...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, bingo seems to be the new big thing going around. You know, it used to be raffle tickets. Now I think it's bingo.
This one is unique, and this is what struck me. That, well, first they were asking for infinity, I guess.
Right.
But which bothered me. But typically, obviously, as you mentioned, Commissioner Creed, they usually ask for a day, a week, or something like that. I just think it's bad policy to go any more than a year.
And I don't have any problems with this particular group, but I just believe that we might be getting more and more, and so we should establish a annual policy or something.
That's the point I'm making,
Yeah.
is we should have a policy any more than, and it might even be wise to say any more than a day, a week, to have to go through a resolution, so there's a document that they have that has the dates on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't mind. If someone wants to offer action on this one, I guess we can just get this one done, but I don't necessarily mind. I think that might be wise, just something to keep a note for RIA in the future if they ask for more than just an event.
I would say if they're asking for something that's going to be an annual event,
Yes.
we could just do the resolution through the end of the year, and they could just make application again every January. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that resolution does have it to
Yes, it does.
December 31st.
And what the statute provides is that they give notice, and absent objection is approved. So it's kind of the reverse of what you're used to seeing is I'm applying and we need your approval. This is absent objection.
But wouldn't an absent objection also be defined as a January 1, 2027? We would object.
Correct. That is the point of having the ending date in the resolution.
Right.
It's just a weird statute.
Oh, a lot of them are.
Any other questions, comments, and/or action? Questions, comments, and/or action? Don't receive any action, we will move on.
Well, I'll make a motion. We pass that resolution with the ending date of December 31st, 2026.
I'm not seeing a resolution.
There's a resolution in admin content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I wasn't quite sure why it was in.
Because I wasn't given a directive, so I didn't throw it out there for the public to see.
Yeah, but I'd still put all resolutions possible because we never know when we get a resolution if it's going to be approved or changed or
Can you
acted
put the
upon.
resolution up on the screen, please, Rhea? I'm not seeing. Okay, so I have a motion to adopt resolution. What's the number on that?
It doesn't have
2026-12. Do I have a second? Motion second on the floor to adopt resolution 2026-12. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. Secretary, note that Commissioner Wyzorek voted against the motion. MMM Foundation Raffle.
This was a bingo application that we received actually just in the last couple weeks, since the last commission meeting actually, and they have previously been approved to operate in Buffalo Chip during rally time. I believe they have their dates listed here, and I'm sorry for the poor copy, but what I got was actually a copy that was not well.
You know, when I saw that, I thought, can you ever send something back and say, we need a better copy?
Again.
because, you know, it's really almost, you know, impossible to.
Well, there's time then. I think there's time if you want to, would you just reach back to them?
I have I have. If you'd like to see the originals that are easier to read,
sure,
then you're
okay.
welcome to look at that.
Okay, it's just how it copied on
Yeah.
the.
Oh, yeah. I know they sent you rotten copies. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but
Okay.
they just.
Is there any other questions, comments on this? Questions, comments, and/or action?
Yes.
This is almost every year. This
It's been multiple years.
Yes. And no issues that we know of.
None that I'm aware of.
Any other questions, comments, and/or action?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the MMM raffle at the Buffalo Chip for these dates, August 7th through 17th. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Commission updates. Does anyone have any updates? Any updates from the commission? Okay, let's move down to consent. Questions, comments, and/or action on the consent? Motion is second on the floor to approve the consent calendar. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Might be the fastest meeting in history.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's not jinx it yet.
Yeah.
Let's go up.
And the
planning.
most boring.
I thought we were having a lot of fun during.
Yeah.
Planning, is there, our director is not
They're sitting in the
here,
back of the room.
but, is there anything, Commissioner Wyzorek, do you have anything to add from Planning Department?
Yeah, so a report's there. It's actually been kind of slow where we've had shorter meetings with planning as of late. There's just not been a lot of activity. I think some of that's driven by people still waiting on the interest rates maybe to come down. Some of the bigger projects Tanya tells us there's a couple bigger ones waiting in the wings to come onto our day. But
I thought you were back today.
Catch up.
You could identify yourself, Ms. Fig.
Tanya Vig, Meade County Planning Director.
Any updates from the department? Any questions from the department, from the commissioners?
It just attaches the building permit report for the month of April. And moving forward on those planning meetings, we've been pretty busy on some of those with variances of plats. New addresses means people are moving in, so which is a good sign. Nothing really going through the office is slowly working through rewriting ordinances, starting the drafts, start working through those.
You know, which reminds me, you know, I talked to Tanya when she was on vacation, and I can't even remember the name of that deal you told me about, but to make a long story short, apparently we are the only county around that requires a particular, not a regular septic tank. If you have a commercial operation, it doesn't matter what is happening within that. It's all determined by the size of the building and not what is taking place. Am I correct?
the advanced treatment unit.
Well,
We have some commercial businesses that are struggling with it and the cost of them.
Well, they can come in and ask for a variance
Yep.
off the thing.
Yeah.
But you're much better off to be asking that for commercial out of the box. And the state sets up regs. I mean, if somebody comes in and says, hey, it's just going to be a pole barn. But I mean, what drives, the problem is you get people to come in and say, oh, it's just going to be a pole barn, we're going to have just a shower in it.
Right.
Next thing you know, there's all kinds of activity in it.
Yeah.
So, you got to have some teeth. I mean, we've had a couple, I was going to bring this up. We've had some complaints where we've got people out there doing major dirt work with getting no permit. And the silliness of it, sometimes they're doing major dirt work and they don't
Kind of
even,
like at Infinity?
well, yeah, kind of, but worse actually. And then they're coming in and then they ask, like the state law will not let us put a septic system in disturbed earth. And then they go do a bunch of dirt work. They come in and we won't give them a building permit. They didn't come in and get the permit to do the dirt work. And then they're mad at us when we tell them under state law they're not entitled to a septic because of the dirt work they did. I mean, it's
Really?
yeah. I mean, it's and people actually should know better out there doing massive dirt work when it violates our ordinance and actually violates state law on some of them. So it's that activity is.
And what do you call that thing again?
An advanced treatment unit.
Advanced treatment unit.
Yeah, it's an ATU.
I guess we're the only ones in the Black Hills that require that.
Well,
Bennington
the
has
state requires ATUs for commercial operations.
All in, so the start of all this comes out with a perk test, notifying language of soil.
Okay.
What they perk at, if they can use standard, a mound, or you get into these things. This is regulated by the state.
Yeah.
I think we bring it
Okay.
up more often with some of our soils here, but it's nothing new.
Thanks for filling me
Yeah.
in on the rest because
the state's required
I
to
didn't
review.
know about it.
Yeah, the state's required to review and approve those type of systems within our area.
okay.
So we require them for commercial as part of our process.
And,
You
and
can't come in
some of the
for-
residential has to use ATUs
Yep.
too.
We have a
Yeah.
couple. Golden Valley was a requirement because of the
Oh, they go
townhomes.
what?
That was part of a plating requirement.
Well, and they can have.
I just never had any idea. Tanya mentioned how much one costs, and I was just kind of
Yeah,
flabbergasted.
they're expensive. I mean, that's part, frankly, and it's broke a record a bit, is that's part of not having more central sewer in this county. And it's development ability. And then when you add on to that, you don't have cities that are pushing their lines out further.
You're right.
It causes these other issues. I mean, planning ahead for these infrastructure is a big deal for properly building out.
It really bothers me that all that development that Larry always tells us about at Black Hills Console down at Box Elder, it's all happening in Pennington County.
That's because they have central sewer.
Yeah, and here we sit and it's like, what can we do to, if nothing else, I wish they would annex or something, some of that land, or same with Rapid.
Yeah, good luck.
I know.
But it's like when I always hear rumors about, oh, you mean Walmart's going to come out to this exit in Meade County. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, Walmart's not going anywhere where there's not central sewer and central water. Just not.
Mm-hmm. No.
And most
no one else will either.
No national business will hardly touch anything in that situation. That's, in all frankness, I was at a meeting where they were talking about data centers on place. Please send me one in Meade County. They don't need central sewer. they pay an incredible amount of property tax that would alleviate it from us, and they don't beat up our roads after initial construction. There's not a lot of heavy construction, a lot of traffic used. That's one of the things that we could probably actually take out here. That would be a great relief for our taxpayers.
Let's move on to. Are you ready to talk about the F2.
It was a
and,
short meeting, Gary.
and I understand we do have hearings, and we're in the middle of planning. If we want to chat, we can chat afterwards as well.
Yeah,
Up to
yeah,
chat.
but this is
Let's go on to F2. Let's go on to we're going on to F2.
It is planning, and it is something that I got a call about. So
I appreciate bringing it up. I'm just going to, I think it's time we go on to F2. And it's not on the agenda, Commissioner Wyzorek, which you brought up earlier this morning.
Well, it's part of planning, the general discussion.
Okay, let's move on to F2. Infinity Properties, LLC. Approval of section line road construction plans. Go ahead.
We're in the, I know they're here. I think they're in the hallway.
I'm recused on this
Okay.
one. So.
Hey, Shannon?
Yeah, he went to get him.
Well, I'll get started. So Interstate Engineering has submitted plans on behalf of Infinity Properties for the reconstruction to construct a new road that will be the new section line within their property. The plans have been reviewed by HDR Engineering and staff. All comments have been addressed back and forth. It's just part of the general development agreement was that once the plans were completed on Section 2, the creation of a new 66-foot public right-of-way, that the commissioners approve the plans. I'm just following up on trying to get approval.
Sure. Mr. Matt, would you like to come forward and discuss this, please? Or Mr. Ballamiller, or... Go ahead, Mr. Matt. Identify yourself, please.
Shane Matt.
Would you talk in the microphone?
Shane Matt with Interstate.
Right, Green?
Oh, there you go. Shane Matt with Interstate Engineering.
Anything?
Not much to add. Just we've been coordinating very strongly with the planning and department and HDR, and just the final revision.
And staff sees no objections to this, Ms. Fig?
No, we've met everything. The drainage works, the road works, and meets the criteria for Section 2 of the developer's agreement.
Thank you. Highway liaison, do you see any objection or anything? Any problems with it?
Talked about.
Okay. And Secretary, you got the note that Commissioner Wyzorek is recused from this. Any other questions and or action?
I'll make a motion to approve the section line.
I have a second.
well, I guess it's me.
Motion and second on the floor to approve this relocation, these plans.
And Rich went over and he likes the plans too.
I didn't use Rich because of the conflict.
Yeah, Rich would have a conflict.
Oh, he'd have a conflict too.
Yep,
okay.
Stacy. There's an road engineer that has reviewed them.
Yeah, that's why I asked you, and then I also asked the other highway liaison. So motion and second on the floor to approve these plans. Any discussion, other discussion of that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Yep.
Thank you. We just go to our 10 o'clock hearing, scheduled items. First one is the hearing for new CBH co-op malt beverage and South Dakota wine. On off sale license. We do have some gentlemen here, looks like representing CBH. Rhea, did you explain this one?
I'll go ahead and hop down to that since it's an auditor item.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
They're applying for a new malt beverage and South Dakota farm wine license for 26-27. All of their fees and property taxes are paid. And along with their new one, and the next agenda item is their renewal, just because of the timeline.
Okay, any questions, comments? Is anyone from this is a hearing? Does anyone from the public wish to speak this? Anyone from the public wish to speak? Anyone from the public wish to speak? I will close public comment on this item. Any questions, comments from the commission? Questions, comments, and/or action?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion a second to approve this malt beverage and wine license. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you guys for coming in today.
I can't imagine much wrong happening out there.
Let's go to E2. It's a hearing on renewal of the 2026-27 malt beverage and South Dakota wine on a sale license. Go ahead, Don.
So this is a hearing for all of the malt beverage and South Dakota wine license renewals that we have in the county. And in addition to those, the CBH renewal of the new license that was just approved. All of the fees are paid, all of the taxes are paid.
You know, I want to say I really liked how they had the amount of taxes listed on that chart. I really liked that.
So this
The only thing I missed was the grand total. Would you have whoever put together that chart to send me the grand total?
Sure.
I'm just curious.
this is a hearing. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak to this? Anybody from the public wish to speak to this? Seeing no one come forward, I'll close public testimony on this hearing. Any questions, comments, and/or action on this item?
Second.
Motion and second on the floor for approval of this item. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Brings us down to E3. It's a bid opening for 2026 gravel aggregate. I assume, does Troy have those, or do we have those with us?
I have two here, but I don't know if Troy has any in his possession.
Okay.
Where did they have?
I got a text from Troy saying he's delayed and he had some things he is dealing with.
Can you ask him if he just has any?
That's what I just sent. Well, let's take a 10-minute break. Thank you. I think we're fine. As long as we got the bids recorded.
This bid is from Roseanne Construction. Bid price per delivered gallon is 1.599 and no bids on the other two lines.
Okay, is that all the bids?
That's all the bids.
Okay, Ken, if you could get with the Superintendent Eastman and go through these, we'll either come back to them sometime at this meeting or possibly next meeting. We'll see how things work out. And we only have one thing on highways, hoping Superintendent Eastman would get here, but brings us to executive session. Motion to go into executive session for legal, contractual, and personnel. Do I have one?
Second.
Commissioner Creed made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Wyzorek, to go into executive session for legal, personnel, and contractual. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. We're now in executive session. executive session.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion and second to come out of executive session. All those in favor say aye. Oh, same sign. Motion carries. We have a highway item we need to go back to, which is C5, which is a right-of-way easement. Yeah, I'm near here. I just want to mention, Nate, you're the Weed and Pest Director. C3, the Joint Powers Agreement, we just thought it'd be best the Weed and Pest Board would just look at it first before it came to us.
Ray?
Yeah, this,
DOT?
yep,
We do this every.
correct. Nathan Jagum, Meade County Weed and Pest, and Assistant Highway Superintendent. Yeah, we're kind of late on that as is. This still has to go to peer to get finalized. After you guys give it your blessing, then it goes to peer, and then we have to wait for a copy of the minutes to send along with that. So, I mean, we're already going to be 2 weeks to a month behind on that, and I apologize about the lack of a weed board meeting. We're swamped at the highway department and weed and pest, and unfortunately it seems like highway gets a lot of the priority over the weed and pest stuff. So a lot of my time is focused on the highway and not as much on the weed and pest. So we can definitely hold a meeting if that's how you want to handle it. But yeah, this has been an annual agreement that we've had, for years.
I just thought it's best it's a technicality, but at the same time it's good. And the Weed and Pest Board, I have heard from a member, and I feel the same way, that they need to be meeting, and so we need to get something scheduled.
Okay.
I don't know the last time. When was the last meeting we had? It
was last year, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know when I first got on it, it was a couple times a year. I think statute says they have to meet regularly, which I don't think regularly is defined. But nonetheless, to handle some of these issues, it'd probably be appropriate to go through. This one is a technicality, but with that said, it's good to keep the Weed and Pest Board up to date on some things.
Yep.
Okay. Does anybody feel comfortable with that explanation going back to that C3, which is Joint Powers Agreement for weed spraying, and taking action on that today? Or
I'd like to. I think I'm okay with taking action on it. I'll probably make it, but what I'd also like, Nathan, I think, why don't you come up with 2 dates that we'll just set for weed board where they must meet.
Yep.
I think like a spring one where you do planning and maybe an early summer one, and then as needed. But we should just schedule them, even if it's just an hour update, here's what's going on or here's what we've done. Because I don't want to run into an issue with the statute, and 2, I think just for everybody to be on a calendar, so at least they know people are committed to it. So if you could make some recommendations, but I think maybe the commission should just adopt that they'll meet last Tuesday in March or something like that in preparation for that coming season.
That's a good idea, because there's all these, when we meet before, it seems like there's a bunch of things that come up in the spring, and then there's a bunch of things that fall.
Yep.
Winter time, I think that would be I think 2 times a year would be sufficient. I mean, we can do an as needed throughout the year.
Yeah,
like
if somebody files a weed complaint, the board has to hear that, right? But
if they're going to take action on it, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that would be good if we could maybe twice a year just have them scheduled and say weed board meets annually.
So if you could like, why don't you think about that and look at the calendar and give us what you think would be good biannual meeting dates. We'll just lock them down. We'll approve them by board resolution. That way, when you bring somebody down and say, these are 2 set meeting dates you might have to meet to take action on complaints, and we've got that done.
Okay.
And have we had any complaints? I don't recall.
There was a prairie dog complaint that we dealt with a little bit, but the weed complaints, they don't even really come in until, starting. Well, usually it's when Canada thistle is in bloom, which is in July.
Right.
Is when all the Canada thistle complaints come in, and that's just.
But the board really hasn't. I don't recall acting on it.
No. You can, but if you're in city proper, the city usually is the one that maintains those complaints.
Okay, so anybody want to make action on C3, which joint
I'll make
powers?
a motion to approve the joint powers agreement for weed spraying.
Motion and second on the floor to approve the joint powers agreement for weed spraying. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Let's go down to the C5, which is the right-of-way easement.
Okay, and so the documentation, I think, has been prepared by Bros. They have met with the landowners on both sides. This is for a big grant that we were awarded for a structure on Corral Road. They have, Bros has met and received the asks by the landowners, what they would like to see for right-of-way compensation, if there was some. I think some of it just said some seeding and stuff after the work is completed. I didn't read all of the documentation, but this is typical of what a temporary easement is for when we're doing the work on those, and then any permanent easement that might be after the structure is complete. So I believe it was 2 landowners that were affected, Cord and Walker, if I remember correctly. So yeah, basically it's just a blessing of the commission to move forward with that easement and that agreement, so we can get that stuff lined up and put that out for bid.
And this, according to text I got from Troy, this is a temporary easement. Is it?
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, usually it is just a temporary easement unless the structure is going to expand outside of our right-of-way.
And it's part of that big grant.
Yep, part of the big grant on Corral Road.
Okay.
There's a slight otherwise it's temporary.
Okay.
Okay, so there was a final right-of-way.
There is under the on Cord 1.
Yep.
There's
Okay.
a perpetual easement of which would be right away.
Correct.
0.08 acres. Of 100 square feet.
Right. So I don't think he was asking for any
Yeah.
compensation.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay. Does anyone want to take action on this?
So I'll make a motion to approve the proposed right-of-way donation authorized.
Motion is second on the floor to approve this agreement and authorize the chairperson to.
Do you want them separately or agreements? I mean, you said agreement. There's 2.
Could be 3, isn't there? Isn't there
Three.
3 easements and 1 right-of-way donation?
Yeah, we probably better make them separate from the donation. We could do the agreements in one, possibly.
Well, so here, Don, I'll throw you a curve. So I'll make a motion to to accept the proposed right away coming from Concord and authorize.
Motion is second on. So you're rescinding your first motion.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. The replacement motion is to accept this donation and authorize the chairman to sign it. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Make a motion to accept the right-of-way donation from the Walkers and authorize the chair to sign the agreement.
Motion is second on the floor to accept the right-of-way donation from the Walkers and to authorize the chairman to sign the agreement. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Motion For the chair to execute the right-of-way certificate. Government Department of
Motion and a second to have the chair. You repeat that, please, Commissioner Wyzorek.
Execute the right-of-way certificate. Program.
Thank you. Motion and second on that. Did you get that done? Okay, thank you. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, same sign. Motion carries.
And then I'll make a motion for the chair to execute the lease certificate. Part of the project and relocate the utilities.
Did you?
That requires, as part of the project, the county to relocate the.
That must have got added in. I wasn't aware of that one.
To relocate the utilities that are listed.
Good. Motion a second, or we don't have a second. Motion a second to relocate the utilities that are listed. Any discussion to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Looks like we're done. Thanks for coming over, Nate.
Are we going to address those bids at all today, or are we going to do it next meeting?
I have not heard back from Ken on anything, so we're going to have to.
Nate, you didn't look at them.
Oh, has he talked to you about the bids?
I just looked at them from here with Don. I would say next meeting we come back with an award
Proposal.
Proposal for award next meeting.
Ken hasn't even said if.
I mean, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get some from Hills and some, gravel aggregate bids from Hills and some of the other limestone, because I don't know that we got any limestone rock bids, which is what the intent of that was. So if that's the case,
had the same offering.
Well, yeah, why don't you and Rich, the highway liaisons, coordinate with Troy? We'll have to check bids.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But it'd be something for you guys to visit with him.
I mean, we're not bidding these as exclusive source type stuff.
No.
This was for future stuff we needed done.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a very good overall.
So we also need Ken's opinion. I don't think he had a chance to review the document. So we'll just handle it next meeting.
Yeah,
Mag's a different deal.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that.
That doesn't. We don't need to start on this stuff though tomorrow, though, do we? Next meeting we'll work to look at.
Yeah.
It. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put it on. Rhea, do you have that down to look at next meeting? Okay. Real good. Thanks, Nate.
Yep.
I believe we have completed taken care of all the business and completed our agenda, so therefore I'll declare us adjourned.